Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, let's start us off.
Who's kicking it up? Me?
Yeah, you.
Welcome back to the Tangent Podcast, everybody. How you doing, Jack?
Riveting.
Ooh, I was just thinking today what word you were going to use.
I chose riveting, I guess.
Riveting, huh? I like it. I respect it.
It's not a very good self-describing word.
A thing, an experience is
yeah.
riveting. Riveted, you're riveted.
It's the same thing, though, right?
Well, riveted would mean that you're the one being riveted by the experience. Riveting would describe the experience.
The experience.
Yes.
All right, I'll be riveted.
Okay. Good.
I'm riveted that you are here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Should we just dive right in? Because I've been looking at this drink over here.
I'm thirsty, man.
And I'm excited. Remember that lip-smacking ice cream milkshake from your childhood? Yes?
Yeah.
Well, now it's caffeinated
Oh.
with bold vanilla flavor and a smooth finish. Give your spilt a little swirl, then chug. Next you'll be saying, this is freaking delicious.
Wow, yeah.
Vanilla milkshake flavor. I'm excited. Vanilla is the best of everything. So I'm excited. Oh, it smells good.
That ain't bad.
I love it.
That ain't bad. Man, the fellas at Spilt do not miss, do they?
No, they don't. That's better than the cookies and cream and the strawberry. I don't know that it's better than the chocolate, but it's as good.
We're going to need to do a side-by-side at the end of this. Yeah, I agree. I think it is better than the cookie cream and the strawberry, which is very surprising to me.
That's so good. Yeah, it would... So we have one more flavor to try, the peanut butter chocolate. And then there's a double chocolate, too. That would be fun to do a side-by-side. You know what we need to start doing? We need to do, like, blind pizza taste test. Or, like, blind root beer taste test. Or something... My stomach's growling, sorry. Like, something like that.
That sounds good. I like pizza and root beer, so I don't have a problem with anything you're saying.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fun.
Patreon.
Blind fast food burger taste test. Except I feel like I can tell.
I could tell burgers.
Wendy's is very distinct.
I think McDonald's is like unnaturally soft. I think I could pick that out.
Yeah. And then if you're getting something as high, like higher quality, like a Culver's, you're going to be able to tell. Do you like Culver's?
I do like Culver's.
It's good.
It is good.
I think it's overhyped though.
A little bit. It's a little pricey.
Same with In-N-Out.
For their burger, I disagree. I quite enjoy their burger. Their fries, I don't even know why they sell those. They should just throw them directly into the trash.
Yeah. Yeah, you can save your money and stop buying potatoes because they're garbage.
Yeah, we just go to McDonald's on the way and get the fries from there.
Yeah, you can't beat McDonald's fries.
You got some space news for us?
I do. So this is kind of fun. The James Webb Telescope.
Oh, dude, I love the James Space Telescope.
Has detected light from a small Earth-like planet.
Oh.
And which they previously didn't think had an atmosphere, but it does.
Oh.
So 5 years ago, NASA's infrared Spitzer Space Telescope.
Spitzer Space? Dude, that's...
Yeah.
They have fun at NASA.
It helped discover a family of 7 rocky exoplanets orbiting the same star, known as TRAPPIST-1. Now, NASA's new infrared powerhouse, the James Webb Telescope, measured the temperature of one of those worlds, TRAPPIST-1b, and also saw what appeared to be an electrical light coming from the planet. How they can tell it's like an electrical source of light?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. But they've detected some light coming from this planet, which is cool.
Did you say how far or which galaxy it was in?
It says, let's see, how far is it? No, but they said it's hot. It's 232 degrees Celsius and 450 degrees Fahrenheit.
A little warm.
So it's a little bit warm.
Little warm.
We ain't living there. But they also said this is a direct quote from Thomas Green, a NASA astrophysicist. He said, This is the first detection of any form of light emitted by an exoplanet as small and as cool as the rocky planets in our own solar system. No previous telescopes have had the sensitivity to measure such dim mid-infrared light. Well, maybe it's the first one because they haven't had the tech to detect it.
Tech to detect it is fun to say.
It is. So that makes sense of why it's the first one, because we've never been able to see it. But it's also cool because it's the first light from an exoplanet.
I'm curious to hear what more comes out of that.
Yeah. I remember when I first heard about this, people online were freaking out because they're like, NASA found city lights on another planet. It's got to be people. And then, no, definitely wasn't. But it's some kind of light. Maybe some being or creature has evolved to withstand 450-degree temperatures.
That'd be pretty cool. Like the woolly mouse, but in reverse. Yeah. Got to add that to people. Another space news. I don't know if you heard about this. What's it called? 3-Eye Atlas. Have you heard of that?
No.
3-Eye Atlas is the third interstellar object to enter our solar system.
Is this the huge...
It is very big.
Planet killer?
I don't think it's killer. But it was first detected on July 1st. And yeah, it's called 3-Eye Atlas. 3-Eye Atlas. It's apparently traveling at 130,000 miles per hour. Thing's cooking.
That's pretty quick. Is this like school bus big? Is this like
trying to find
small country big?
Pretty sure it's pretty big, but
what is pretty big? Like a school bus is pretty big.
Initial observations by the Vera C. Rubin Observatory suggested that 3-Eye Atlas's icy core might be around 7 miles wide.
Oh my goodness.
But more recent things are saying 3.5. I don't know what the core means. Is that the whole thing or just a bit of it?
I believe that's, the inside.
But
like an apple core.
It is cooking, and it's apparently twice the age of our solar system at about 9 billion years old.
How can they tell?
I have no idea. Science, maybe?
Every day I read these things online, and I'm like, you could just tell me stuff, and I have no way to refute it. Or, like, tell you that that's wrong. I can't prove otherwise.
They also found that it has no risk of collision or gravitational disturbance, so you don't got to worry about any of that. But it is a really, really cool science discovery, and studying it will hopefully bring us more information on what's outside of our solar system. Again, only the third thing to ever enter our solar system from outside of it.
Isn't there one that's supposed to hit or like pass really close to the Earth in the next year or two?
I don't know. Maybe.
We talked about it on an episode like a year ago.
Oh. Like a Halley's Comet kind of thing?
It's supposed to come really close to the Earth. Thing that might hit the Earth. The thing that might hit different was the first. Yes, an asteroid called 2024 YR4 has a small
I do
chance
remember
of impacting on December 22nd, 2032. Happy birthday to my cousin, Trevbot, by the way, on that day. Happy birthday and Merry Christmas to the world.
That is crazy. Wait, on December 25th, you said?
December 22nd. But also, he's a good dude. He listens to the podcast.
Oh. Well, happy birthday. Trevbot?
Trevbot.
Trevbot.
Yep. Trevbot.
Trevbot.
We go way back. He's the coolest cousin.
Your cousin, so technically you go all the way back, right?
Yeah, we do.
Which is pretty far back, so you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's legit. If you're still in Alaska while you're reading this, go find the treasure. There's a new treasure that might be hidden in Alaska. Go find it.
Oh, wow. Well, so many treasures.
But yeah, we might get destroyed in 2032, which I don't know why they called it 2024 YR4 if it's going to hit in 2032.
I mean, that's probably the year they discovered it, if I had to guess.
Maybe. That tracks. Yeah, you're probably right. Making me look stupid on the podcast.
What's today's episode?
We are going back to the OG American Urban Legends. And today we are moving on to the fine state of Kentucky, which before researching, I was not hopeful for. I'll be honest, because coming off of Kansas, yours was cool for Kansas.
Kansas was interesting.
But all I knew was the chicken, and the chicken started here. Remember?
Yeah,
KFC started here.
Yeah, that did come up.
I have a few. So I'm doing the fine cryptids of the state of Kentucky. The first one...
I like how every state has their own cryptids, it seems.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see.
So the first one, the Pope Lick Monster.
Oh, I don't like that.
So I'm pretty sure...
Pope Lick.
There's a few ways you could take this. The Pope would be a monster if he licked people, right?
Yeah, that would be monsterish
That'd be
behavior.
pretty weird. But also, I just don't see a reason why a place would be called Pope Lick if the Pope didn't lick somebody there. Or, lick whoever named it. I don't know. It's just a strange...
Pope doesn't have very many meanings, as far as I know.
Yeah, but there's a public river, so the city isn't even called Pope Lick, as far as I know. It's just the Pope Lick River. And the Pope Lick Monster is said to be a legendary part man, part goat, and part sheep creature.
Wait, in the water?
No.
Oh.
So this is near the Pope Lick River.
Oh, I thought it was like a Loch Ness monster kind of thing, and I was like,
No.
None of those things are aquatic.
No. Yeah, a 3-creature hybrid that suddenly becomes
3-creature. It's usually a 2-creature. So we're going goat, sheep, and what?
And man.
Man.
So
okay.
there's reports that it's goat and man, and then there's reports that it's sheep and man, but then there's reports that it's goat, sheep, and man. So for the sake of fun and this episode, we're going goat, sheep, man.
Truth be damned.
Yep. And he lives beneath a railroad trestle.
I don't know what a
which
trestle
is.
is.
Like,
please enlighten me.
A bridge, basically.
Oh.
Which you would think they could just say bridge instead of trestle.
Well, it's a lot more fun to say trestle.
Trestle, yeah. Yeah, but English sucks, and I hate it because...
Something can suck, but also be fun.
True. It's true. Trestle... it says trestle bridge, so I guess it's a type of bridge.
Oh.
So a trestle bridge over the Pope Lick Creek in the Fisherville area of Louisville, which it's not Louisville. Apparently people get real mad if you say that. It's Louisville. Which, shout out to DM45, Donovan Mitchell, came from Louisville. But, so the Pope Lick Monster is this legendary goat sheep guy creature. And he lives by the train tracks. And he lures people to their deaths.
Oh.
So if you look at this train trestle, you can look it up. The Pope Lick train trestle, and it's
what
really
a sentence to type in. Oh, that's a sketchy bridge.
Yeah, so you'd sketchy, right? You know what? 20 to 25 trains still pass over that every day.
No way.
It is still a main railroad artery into the fine city of Louisville.
It's one of, I guess, a trestle. It would be one of those really high bridges.
Yeah, it's like 100 feet up.
It's very high up, and it's
got
it's
sketchy
derelict.
boards. Derelict, yes. Maybe Pope licked.
Oh.
Ha. So this creature, the Pope Lick Monster, lives in the woods near this trestle. It's a very wooded area. And what he does is he mimics somebody that is in need of help, or mimics something that would cause somebody to come over and look to help.
Like Skinwalker
Like
behavior.
a Skinwalker type thing. Then, when they get close enough, he puts them into a trance, whether out of fear or some magical power. And these people stand on the tracks in this trance, unable to get away. And only the light of the train and the whistle of the train can break them out of the trance. But by then, it's too late.
So they get hit by the train?
They get hit by the train. And in their last moment of awaking from this trance, they're struck with fear, and they can't get away from the train. Boom, and they die.
Wow.
Why he does this?
Yeah, that's like some sort of sick game. Like
I don't know. So the legend is that he was created from this farmer who was a sheep farmer who sacrificed, maybe a goat farmer, whatever mixture, goats and sheep, I guess.
Yeah, both.
And men. Maybe he was farming men too. I don't know. But he sacrificed his animals to Satan to create to like make himself immortal. And so then it said that he was given immortality, but was also horrifically turned into a goat sheep man.
Oh.
And now he takes out his revenge and anger on others by leading them to their deaths at this train trestle.
I think it's just passing time.
Probably, yeah.
He's getting bored.
Yeah, but if he's like a satanic dude now, he probably just wants to kill people. He also apparently drops onto cars that pass near the train trestle.
Wow.
And kills the people inside, too.
That would be horrifying to have fall in your car.
There have been a few deaths reported on or near this trestle of car crashes, people getting hit by the trains. So there is some weirdness there.
Interesting.
And yeah, so if you ever go by this trestle, it is super wooded, so he attacks in the day and the night.
Oh, the day as well. Oh.
Apparently he lives in a shack by the trestle. So if you're ever near the Pope Lick Creek, which I don't know why you'd go by there, it sounds bad. Don't go to the Pope Lick Creek.
Where this is. Oh, yeah, so it's pretty close to Louisville. It's not far off.
Yeah, it's not far.
Neither is mine. That's great.
Also, fun fact about Louisville, the 29th most populated city in the country.
That is a fact. I don't know if I'd call it fun, though.
It's fun.
It's not.
I didn't know that.
Just because you didn't know it doesn't mean it's fun.
Yeah, but I would have never guessed. I would have guessed it was like 2 to 300th on the list of most populated cities. Louisville, the only thing I knew about Louisville was Donovan Mitchell.
I know they have they go ham for college sports.
They do, yeah. Their basketball's always good.
Yeah.
I just never knew it was that big.
I guess I didn't either.
Shall we move on to the next cryptid? Because I got a couple.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
The next one, this one's quick, but the Hillbilly Beast, which sounds like it could just be anybody from Kentucky, is their version of Bigfoot. And apparently he puts you into trances too.
Oh, really?
So
Two
apparently there's like
trance-inducing beasts.
Yeah. Go watch. There's a show called Monster Quest on the History Channel that you can stream. They did like a 45-minute episode where they went out hunting for the Hillbilly Beast. I watched a little bit of it. It's pretty entertaining. It's just their Bigfoot. He's like 8 to 12 feet tall.
Quest. I've
And
seen
he's
this
stinky
before.
and hairy. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Hillbilly Beast. But he's seen all over Kansas. And there were, back in like 2021, there were like 150 corroborated sightings of the Hillbilly Beast in and around, I don't remember what city in Kentucky it was, but there were a bunch of sightings where people were like, yeah. And then over the years, people have just like reportedly seen him. So Hillbilly Beast, the last one, this one's crazy. The Hopkinsville Goblins.
Goblins?
You heard of this before?
I haven't, actually.
I'm surprised I had never heard of this either. So, the Hopkinsville Goblin encounter is one of the most famous and crazy, like UFO-related encounters that I've heard in American folklore, anyway. Well, folklore. I choose to believe that this happened. So, this happened on August 21st to 22nd in 1955. So, it's been a while.
Okay.
It's been, 70 years? That's crazy. 70 years. This was near Kelly and Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And this was at the Sutton home. So there was the Sutton family. And so there was the mom. Her name was Georgina Langford. And then she had 2 sons who were married. Their last name was Sutton. Okay. And so their wives lived with them. She had another son. And then they had a family friend whose name was... Billy Ray. I was thinking Billy Bob, but his name was Billy Ray Taylor and his wife.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Billy Ray Silas and Billy Bob Thornton were what I was thinking.
There we go.
So Billy Ray Taylor. That's a country music star name, right?
Yeah,
dude, Billy Ray
Taylor. Born into it.
So they lived in this 1-bedroom house. There were 8 adults and 4 kids that lived in this 1-bedroom house.
Jeez.
And it was like they were super poor. They had tobacco farms. And they had no TV, no radio, no telephone, no running water. So they were like backwoods country folk that were really poor. And they just took care of themselves and didn't get out much. No contact with the outer world.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder why.
So here's what happened. So the night of August 21st, the family, around 7 p.m., they go to eat dinner. And so one of the guys goes out to the well. It was Billy Ray. Goes out to the well to get some water. And as he's out there, he sees something up in the sky. And he sees it shoot across the sky. And then in front of him, it kind of stops near their property. And in front of him, he sees this egg-shaped craft hovering in the air. And he said it was like a metallic craft, but had kind of like a flaming orange glow around it. And cool. Then he sees it, so he's sitting there looking at it for a minute, and then he sees it shoot off about a quarter mile and kind of crash somewhere on their property, about a quarter mile away, like behind their tobacco field. So he's freaking out, and he runs in the house, and he tells everybody, and they kind of play it off of like it was just a meteor or something, because I guess at this time the Perseid meteor shower was happening.
Oh.
It was that time of year. And so they're like, you just saw a meteor, like, you're crazy or whatever. So nobody even did anything.
They didn't even go check?
They didn't even go check.
Wow.
No. So then they eat dinner, and the other two men, like, he takes one of the other men outside, and he's like, come look at this. So they go outside, and they see this, like, green glow in one of the fields. Like, the grass is just kind of, like, has a glow to it. So they're like, what the heck is going on? And all of a sudden they see it, like a tiny creature come out of the field. And it was like 3.5 feet tall, round head, and it had these giant yellow eyes kind of on either side of the head. Ugh. And then it had like kind of like a thick triangular shaped, kind of muscular upper body. The legs were super skinny, and then these long arms with giant claws on them. So they see this creature, and then he raises his arms, and they take that as a threat. So they run in the house, and they grab their guns, and they're sitting in the doorway of the house, and they start popping off shots at these creatures. And so they're shooting. One of them has a 12 gauge, and one of them has a 22. So they're shooting at these creatures. And the mom of all the adult sons and the other women, all the wives, are just like, oh, this is normal. They're just playing. They're just having fun, being brothers. And they're like sitting in the doorway popping off shots. And the whole family's just like cleaning the dishes up and putting the kids to bed. And they're like, nothing's weird about this. And so then the brothers like go out to try and like confront the creatures, I guess. And they see all these other creatures coming too. There's like a ton of them. And so they run back in the house, and they tell the family, and they're like, we're being attacked. And the family's like, you guys are crazy. And so nobody believes them until one of the wives sees one of the creatures at a window. Ugh. And so like staring in this window. So then one of the brothers pops a shot off through the window screen at the thing. And he said it hit the creature, and it like flipped backwards. So the creature gets hit, and then he does a flip backwards and scurries on all fours into the field.
Oh,
and so then they go out to try and kind of chase it, or to just go out and like see what's going on. And as Billy Ray goes out, there's one on the roof that like reaches down to grab his head, and its claws like brush his head. So then he shoots that one off like on the roof, and then they see another one in the maple tree. So they shoot that guy out of the maple tree, but then the one in the maple tree, like the bullets hit it, and then it just like slowly floated down like a falling leaf. Like it didn't fall out of the tree. But they're also noticing like these dudes aren't dying. Like we're shooting them, and they're all flipping backwards and then running away. But also when we hit them, like the bullets are ricocheting off of them. Oh. Sounds like a metallic, like pew, like ricochet sound. And there's no blood. There's no like blood and guts spattering everywhere. Like the bolts are just bouncing off of them. Whoa. So this goes on for like 3 or 4 hours, where these guys are popping off shots. More and more creatures keep coming, and they can't really tell how many of them there are because the creatures are so fast and it's dark. And like some will come into the light and they'll shoot them, and then they'll flip back and more will come, and it's just this crazy encounter. There was one on the roof that they shot off, and that one like floated down too. So they're all gathered in the house, and they're like, we have to get out of here. We have to go like get the police, because they had no phone. And so they're like, we have to drive to the police station. So they wait a minute, and when it's finally clear, they rush to their 2 cars, and all 12 people drive to the police station. And it's like, I think it's 11 at night by this point. So they go to the police station, and they tell the police, like, we're being attacked by freaking aliens, or little green. They described them as little green men.
Okay.
And so they're like, we're being attacked by something. So they call the police chief and wake him up, and he's all pissed off. He's like, this is stupid. But he was a pretty serious, like, cut and dry police chief, and he ran a pretty tight ship. So he comes in and he goes to their house with them, and they bring a few officers, and they get to the farm, and they don't really find anything. They go through the house, they see the holes in the window screens where they had, like, shot out, and they found some shell casings and stuff. And then they start searching the yard, and the police are seeing these, like, glowing puddles in the grass that are like 1.5 feet wide, and there's no liquid or any other substance in the puddles, but they're just glowing.
Oh.
And so they're like, that's really weird. But they kind of attribute it to this family's some crazy backcountry family. Like, we can't find any bodies, there's no blood. There's no craft. They did not that night go and look in the crash spot because reportedly everyone was too freaked out to go look in this crash spot. And so the police leave, and they're like, yeah, we'll come back in the morning and we'll keep looking around. So the police leave, and everything's calm for a little bit. So then the family's like, I guess we'll go to bed. And so they decide to go to sleep, and the mom, Georgina, the oldest one, she goes to bed, but then she can't sleep. She's like up, and she notices a glow outside of her window. So she looks over at the window, and one of the aliens is staring in through the window with his arms raised. And so she gets all freaked out, but then she's like, wait, all these creatures are like raising their arms at us. Maybe that's not so much a warning as it is like their attempt to communicate with us. And so she goes and gets the rest of the family, and she's like, hey, I'm seeing these creatures again. So then the brothers are just popping shots off forever. Like, they're having a gunfight again with these aliens out and, like, around the house for like another 2 or 3 hours. So that all started again at like 2 a.m. So by then it'd been 2 or 3 hours since the police had come and gone. And so then they're up again until sunrise, when right as soon as sunrise comes, the creatures all just kind of disappear into the fields. And so then the police come in the morning, and they start looking around, and again, they can't find any bodies or any blood, but these brothers are like, we've shot so many of these things, but the bullets just bounced off. Like, we don't know what's going on. But then they go and search at the crash site, and they can't find any craft. There's no craft. There's no evidence of the grass, like, being disturbed at all from this craft. And so the police chalk it up to them just being crazy.
Mass hysteria kind of thing.
Yeah, and so the police even tried to look for, like, drug paraphernalia or beer cans or whatever, and they said they found, like, 2 beer cans in the trash, no drugs at all. Everyone took, like, tests, and they were all supposedly sober or whatever. But the one weird thing was that when they went to the police station, like, 3 of the guys had heart rates that were, like, above 160. And they're like, even if you're doing hard exercise, that's really hard to get your heart rate for, like, a healthy male that high. Like, you have to be pretty amped up about something. And they said that their fear definitely seemed real. So that day they get a bunch of people that start coming to their house, because around that same time the night before, there had been a bunch of sightings of that same craft, like, zooming through the sky toward their farm. And by then, the word's getting out, like on the radio and stuff, the word is getting out that these people had this crazy gunfight in their farm with these creatures. So people are just starting to show up. And they didn't have any locks on their house, so people are just, like, walking into their house, like, trying to figure out what's going on. They're going through their fields, like, and so they tried putting up, like, no trespassing signs, but nobody was listening. So eventually the brothers were like, we're going to put up a sign, 10 cents for admission. We'll give you 50 cents for information, and if you want pictures, it's $10. So they're like, money-making opportunity. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is all some elaborate hoax, but they all seemed legitimately scared, and even the police were like, we can't explain the weird footprints, like the glowing, not footprints, but the weird glowing puddles. And, like, the glow, they also saw kind of that glow in the field too. They're like, we can't explain that either. And they interviewed all of the family members and even the children separately. And the police were trying to purposefully change the story on them to see if they, like, went with it. But they all, like, corrected them and corroborated the exact same story separately. And then they had a professional sketch artist come, and they interviewed all the family members separately and had each of them described the creature, and it was like all the same. So all their stories were perfectly straight.
Huh.
And yeah, so this was one of the like really big encounters that led to like the little green men description of aliens.
Interesting.
And then around that time in the 50s, that was when like Project Bluebeam was kicking off, and the CIA was starting to investigate a lot of, was it the CIA or the government had Project Bluebeam? They were investigating UFO sightings. So from 1952 to 1955, they'd investigated like 12,000 UFO or UAP sightings, and their sighting at this farm fit pretty well into other sightings around the same time. Even in the same area, like months before, people were seeing groups of little green men near like meteor sites and stuff where they thought like a meteor had crashed, so they go to investigate it and they see groups of these little same green men. So a lot of
OG green men.
Yeah, the OG green men.
And they weren't aliens, they were goblins. That's interesting.
Well, that was like what they touted them as, was like, it's a goblin.
It's kind of like the same thing, just how we picture them, you know?
Yeah, goblins almost seem more like ridiculous to me. I don't know why. Like alien seems more likely, but yeah, so then the government investigated too. The Air Force came out and investigated because at that time they were worried about the Soviets, and maybe they thought that maybe this was like a Soviet craft or something. So they even looked into it, and the official narrative was like, these guys are crazy. They were probably drunk or like mass hysteria. And then they said that there was a circus in town at the time, and the monkeys probably escaped, and that it was the monkeys that they saw. And the brothers were like, we freaking slaughtered like 500 monkeys then, because we shot a ton of these things. And they're like, we didn't find any blood or monkey bodies anywhere. So no, it wasn't monkeys, because we freaking shot the crap out of them. And then the other story was that they were owls. Like, because owls have the big yellow eyes. They fly, or they can float through the air, and they also have really big talons. But you'd think that an owl would get dusted by a 12 gauge too. So I don't know. I want to believe it because I think it's funny that a bunch of rednecks had a gunfight with aliens and lost.
And lost.
But yeah, that's the Hopkinsville Goblins encounter.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy, yep.
Huh. I'd never heard that.
It's a fun one to look into.
That is fun. Well, I appreciate you sharing that.
What do you got for us?
I have 3 things for you.
Ooh.
I got 2 smalls and a medium. Let's start with the smalls, shall we? This one was just crazy, like just weird. So on March 3rd of 1876, it was near Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky. For a few minutes between the times of 11 a.m. and 12 p.m., chunks of red meat fell from the clear sky over an area of about 100 by 50 yards. The chunks of meat varied in size, but were generally around 2 by 2 inches, and the largest ones were 4 by 4.
Raw meat or cooked? Does it specify?
Raw, I believe.
Okay.
Let's see. So, witnesses, including Mrs. Crouch, who was making soap on her porch when it started, described the meat as resembling beef, mutton, venison, or even bear. Some pieces were described as muscle, lung tissue, and cartilage. 2 men even tasted it and judged that it was likely lamb or deer.
Dude, if meat's falling from the sky, I ain't tasting that.
Apparently, they were willing to take that chance, and they think it was lamb or deer, but who knows? Scientists and observers were puzzled by the event, and there is no consensus on the exact source of the nature of the falling meat. So it rained meat for a couple minutes, and nobody knows why.
I just imagine all the scientists, the most learned men in the area, like walking around, looking at all this meat, like, I'm puzzled.
I got nothing. So the initial theory was that it was a type of cyanobacteria known as nostoc, that expands during rain, but it was later discounted because there was no rain that day at all. So the next most widely accepted theory is that there were a bunch of vultures flying over, and they all happened to Ralph up their lunch at the same time.
Oh. That's, well, here's the thing. A pack of vultures would be, what, like maybe 50 to 100 vultures?
I don't know.
I'm being pretty liberal with that estimate. They fly close together, right? You would think that they all hack up their lunch at one time. It falls in a concentrated area.
This was a concentrated area, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like a whole town?
It was 100 yards by 50 yards.
Oh, okay. Still.
So it was about a football field. Yeah, 100 by, a little bigger than a
how
little
wide
wider.
is a football field? Like 40 yards?
30?
30?
40, something like that.
I don't know. I didn't play football.
I did, and I still don't know.
That's weird. What's your thought?
I don't know.
I choose to think it was a couple rednecks that were like, let's cook this deer by shoving a stick of dynamite down its throat. And then they like blew it up and it spewed chunks everywhere.
The event was widely reported in newspapers such as the Scientific American and the New York Times, and samples of the meat were collected, preserved, and analyzed. Today, a preserved piece from the meat shower is exhibited at the Monroe Musnick Medical and Science Museum at Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky.
Transylvania University.
Yeah, they apparently have a university called Transylvania. And it rained meat nearby.
Coincidence? Vampires.
It's always vampires.
Yeah, two hillbillies shoving fireworks down a deer throat. Trying to cook
Sounds
it
about
with
right.
explosions.
The next thing I got for you is the legend of Octavia Hatcher.
Ooh, what a name.
This is just a straight up horror, the worst thing you could possibly imagine for yourself story. Octavia Hatcher was a young woman in Pikeville, Kentucky. And in 1891, she suffered a series of devastating events that led to her premature burial alive.
Oh.
She married James Hatcher, a prominent and successful businessman in Pikeville, in 1889, and they soon thereafter had a son named Jacob, but he did not make it very long and died after a few months.
Sad.
So apparently she fell into a depression and illness, eventually to the point of becoming bedridden and then slipping into a coma.
Dang, from depression?
I think there was also some sort of sickness going around at the time.
Ah.
Doctors believed Octavia had died of an unknown illness on May 2nd, 1891, and without embalming, she was quickly buried in a family plot. However, shortly after the burial, an outbreak of similar sleeping sickness affected other residents of Pikeville who slipped into comas but later recovered normally. Fearing that Octavia may have been mistakenly declared dead while still in a coma, her husband had her coffin exhumed, and when the coffin was opened, their horrifying truth was confirmed.
Oh.
Octavia had indeed been buried alive. The coffin lining was torn, her fingernails were bloody and broken from clawing, and her face was in a contorted shape of terror. She had awakened underground, trapped, unable to escape, and ultimately died terrifying death in the coffin.
That's one of my worst fears.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's horrifying. Oh, man. Poor woman.
But then the legend goes that that cemetery is now haunted.
Dude, I bet she uber haunted her husband.
Or the doctors.
Or the doctors,
whoever it
yeah.
was. But there are various stories of people being haunted and seeing a woman and hearing the screaming and scratching when you're late at night in there. Yep.
What? I can't think of many worse ways to go.
Yeah, I don't know. That would take a long time. That's the worst part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would.
Hours, days even.
What would you even do in that situation?
You can't.
Yeah. Coffins back then had to suck a little bit, though, right? Like, probably not as sturdy as they are today.
I mean, you still got hundreds of pounds of dirt on top of you.
That's true. Those coffins today are intensely thick and solid.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe in one of the crappy wooden boxes from 100, 200 years ago.
They just need to install a button in there. Actually, please don't do that.
A transmitter.
Just like it'll just beep like a turn on a light back at the what is it, mortuary or
Yeah.
the cemetery? I don't know, wherever.
They need radio transmitters.
But if any of those lights turn on, I'll be like, do not dig that up.
That would be the worst job, dude. To be the freaking light watcher at the cemetery.
20 years, nothing happens, and one day all of a sudden it just
Oh my
flips on.
goodness. It makes you wonder how many people have been buried alive.
I don't know.
How common back in the olden days?
Yeah.
I wonder how common that was.
Well, it was probably more common than horrible story. And the last thing I got for you is the legend of the Sleepy Hollow Road.
Ooh, is this the Sleepy Hollow? It's not, right? That's back east, I think.
I don't know. Is there the Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, the Legend of the Headless Horseman. Is that this one?
No. The Sleepy Hollow Road, apparently there's multiple. I did notice while I was looking this up, there's a lot of roads called Sleepy Hollow Road, including one in Utah. But that's not the one we wanted. In Kentucky, there is a road called Sleepy Hollow Road, and it is just northeast of Louisville, just like your place. It's a spooky place. Apparently the outskirts of Louisville are haunted. It is a 2-mile stretch of winding road surrounded by dense forest and a canopy that blocks out even full moonlight at night. It's got sharp curves and a steep drop-off, and some places it's a 30 feet difference from height to different. It's quite windy, uppy, downy road.
Okay.
And there are many paranormal activities that happen here. It's not just one thing. There's a ton. Like, this is just a very haunted stretch of road by a lot of things. The most prominent is probably the Phantom Hearse, where a ghostly black hearse will appear, like headlights will appear behind you, and then a ghostly black hearse will materialize from those headlights and will basically run you off the road. It will try to catch up to you, and it will try to get you to crash, run off the road, go over into the ravine, anything it can do. And I don't like that. I don't want to be run off a road by something that doesn't exist.
If it doesn't exist, though.
Well, not it doesn't exist. That isn't alive. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good time. But then soon after the person either regains control or crashes, it disappears. Just disappears. And it's a hearse, which is another creepy note.
Yeah.
Hearses are usually associated with death. I don't know if you knew that.
Thanks for clarifying.
You're welcome. Almost always.
Is there another thing that hearses are used for? That'd be weird if it was like...
Catering, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say. Like Michael's dead body pickup and food delivery hearse. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta have 2 jobs nowadays. So that's one of the things that happens on this stretch of road. The next thing that happens on this stretch of road would be the haunted school bus children. One of the most prevalent haunted stories of Sleepy Hollow Road that is that of the school bus children who died on the road when their bus got overturned. Some say that the haunted children come from a school that used to be located along the road in the 1930s. The teacher or camp counselor at the school killed those children. Still, others say that the school had burned down, leading to the death of those children whose ghosts can be seen walking alongside the road wearing their uniforms from the 1930s. So there's just a bunch of kids walking up and down the road from being killed.
Haunted kids are scarier than anything. Kids.
They are. So people will see the ghosts of the dead children in their school uniforms walking along the road. I don't know if they're probably trying to get to school. The kids love school, so I'm probably having a horrible time.
Why are the youngest and the oldest always the scariest haunted people? Like grannies and kids, you never hear of like, ooh, the haunted 35-year-old man.
The haunted, 21-year-old frat boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He'd be chill. Like, he'd be a chill ghost. He'd just party with you, but Kids and old people, infinitely scarier.
It's true. Another thing that happens on this road is Mary, also known as the Lady in White.
I was going to say, is it the Lady in White?
It is the Lady in White. Also, sometimes known as the White Witch. She frequently makes appearances on Sleepy Hollow Road. There are different narratives on who the Lady in White is and whether she is a witch or not. However, she is known to haunt the road where it meets Mount Misery Road, where she appears in front of drivers, scaring them to death as their cars then pass right through her. Some people say that the White Lady is the ghost of a woman named Mary, who died on the road after being pushed out of the car by her boyfriend. In other versions of the same story, it is said that she jumped out in front of a moving car and died as a result of her injuries. Still, others say that she was a teenager who was hit by a car on her way home.
Dang. Why is it always a lady in white? Is that because ghosts are like
Ghosts,
black and white?
yeah, they don't have color. They don't get the choice of colors.
Okay.
Afterlife is monochrome.
Maybe that's why they're angry, because they're like, I never owned a white shirt in my life. I'm wearing this beautiful yellow gown right now, and nobody can see it.
Where'd you get a yellow gown if colors don't exist?
No, that's what the ghost when she died.
Oh, when she died.
Yeah, and now she's like, I'm stuck in this stupid white for the rest of my life.
I think white's a good color.
It is fine, yeah, but it's not color.
You're right.
I'm just saying, it's always a lady in white.
It's always white. So watch out for that if you're driving on the old Sleepy Hollow Road. Another thing that happens on this is the ghosts of the overpass. If you cross the Sleepy Hollow Road, where the Northern State Parkway overpasses is, wow, that is words. You might come across the corpses of the teens who killed themselves by hanging from the overpass.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Drivers who honk their horns or switch their lights on and off while going through the underpass can sometimes see the spectral images of people hanging from the overpass. Another similar account mentions 2 young teenage boys who were killed in a car because they couldn't see it approaching them. Drivers are advised to honk their horns before entering the overpass lest the ghosts of teenage boys jump out in front of them as they go. Some say that a woman who was killed on the road in the 70s sometimes helps push the cars through if they find themselves stuck on the road by the bridge. People report seeing a pair of spectral hands help push their car when it is stopped under the bridge, and then they put it in neutral. There are also reports of the ghost of a little child that appears to be sitting along the roadside by itself. Apparently, that child was killed in a collision near the bridge.
I want more helpful ghosts like that lady.
Yeah, there was a helpful ghost in there. So we got the hanging ones and the kid that sits off on the side of the road. But yeah, apparently the 70s girl, she helps push your car if it stops there.
Thank you, lady, for doing that. What a service.
That is very kind of you to continue to be of service to us in your afterlife. Mm-hmm. Let's take some true character. Another thing that happens on this road is the ghost of the policeman. One of the most horrifying and scary experiences that people go through is when they are stopped on the road by a police officer. Upon checking their ID and documentation, as the officer turns around, and people notice blood on his uniform and that the back of his head seems to be missing.
Oh.
The officer is no real officer, at least not in the sense that he is living. He is apparently the ghost of an officer who died on this road in the line of duty from a shotgun blast to the back of his head. No one seems to know when this officer died or exactly what happened to him, but the sight of him is enough to scare people and confirm the horrible reality that he experienced in his last moments. So check the back of his head if you get pulled over by a cop on this road.
What are you going to say? Like, hey, will you just do a little turn for me?
Show me what I'm working with here.
License and registration, not until you turn around, sir.
This is a give and take. Another thing that happens on this road. The Hell Dog of Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh.
Given the variety of ghostly encounters that people have on Sleepy Hollow, it is no surprise that not only humans, but animal spirits also haunt the road. In one of the most frightening brushes of death itself, people describe seeing the ghost of the hell dog from the thick woods that surround the Sleepy Hollow Road. This hell dog is unlike any other, with eyes glowing bright red from thick, dark trees. Some say that it is an omen of impending death for whoever sees them. So if you see the dogs, apparently they don't attack you or anything. It just means you're going to die.
That's fun.
Yeah. So don't see the dogs in the trees if you go on this road. Another thing that happens, this is the last one, is the ghost carrying a basket of heads.
Of hens?
Heads.
Heads.
Noggins.
Wow. Okay.
While there might be people walking along the side of the road, drivers are cautioned not to pick people up from the road, especially those they see wandering on the road on their own at night. These wanderers may not be actual people, but rather ghostly apparitions walking along what feels to them like a familiar haunt. There's one ghost in particular that likes to walk along the road carrying a basket in his hands. This is no bread basket, but rather a basket full of severed heads, as people often discover to their horror upon stopping to help this man. And in which point they speed off, usually.
I would hope so.
There's no account to what happens if you actually pick up Head Basket Man.
Does he have the back of the police officer's head in that basket too?
Maybe.
So, did he cut off all the heads, does it say?
It doesn't say. He's just got a basket of heads.
Got a basket of heads, okay.
He's a collector. He probably got some himself, some he found, some he traded for.
Is that currency in the ghost world?
I guess.
People's heads?
Yeah, so my suggestion is don't go on Sleepy Hollow Road for reason.
Have you looked it up on maps? Is
I
it
have.
like a main stretch through the place?
No, it's a pretty small road.
Okay, so it's like you got to go out of your way to get there.
It's not that far outside of Louisville, but I don't think it's a very used road. It's like a back road kind of thing.
Sleepy Hollow. I'm going to look it up here.
Look it up.
Okay, yeah, it kind of cuts back through a bunch of farms, it looks like. There aren't any houses on it.
Oh, I forgot about one. Well, there's one more. It's called Crybaby Bridge. It is a bridge along Sleepy Hollow, and it is said to be haunted by the cries of babies and their grief-stricken mothers. Lore suggests that in darker times, mothers drowned unwanted or sick infants in the waters below, and people can still hear the cries of the infants and the mothers grieving.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It's right next to a golf course.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, and one more thing.
Wow.
One more thing. Actually, two more things. Holy crap, I did horrible note-taking here. But one more thing is that apparently in the 70s and 80s, an area just off of Sleepy Hollow is known as Devil's Point, and it is rumored to have satanic rituals that have been performed there often. So that doesn't, help anything.
That tracks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
fitting.
It fits. Residents reported hearing chanting, screaming, seeing bonfires, and spotting figures in black robes wandering the woods. And that's creepy. And then the last thing is that people have reported experiencing time warps while traveling on this road. Entering in, for example, at 11 p.m., they might exit hours later with little memory of what happened in between.
We did an episode on that.
Yeah, we did.
Missing time.
Apparently that happens often here.
Okay. Because why not?
Because why not? And that is the Sleepy Hollow Road in Kentucky.
That has all of the makings of a portal to another dimension.
It does, doesn't it?
Time warps, hauntings, devil stuff.
And there are some stories that said that it was also on ancient Indian burial ground. It mentioned that as well. I wasn't able to verify that, but throw it on the pile. Why not?
What were the Indians that were in Kentucky?
I do not know.
It was the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, and the Shawnee, and the Yuchi.
Oh. Anyway, Kentucky's got a lot of urban legends, actually. There were a couple more that I was looking at that I was interested by, but didn't end up looking into it. But
That was a banger group of legends we had.
it was. Kentucky's got some crazy stuff going on. And I think I owed an apology because
Same.
I went in thinking this was going to be a crap episode.
Kansas 2.0.
Kansas was fun.
Kansas was fun. I keep crapping on Kansas. Yeah, this is fun. Your chicken's good, Kentucky, even though it came from Utah. You're welcome. Giving you a good name.
You can have that one on us. Don't forget us when you're heated into your own country.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's great stuff.
Let us know what you want to hear next. Every 3 episodes or so, we do American Urban Legends. So the next state will be Louisiana, Kansas, Kentucky. Yep, Louisiana. Next. That one probably got some crazy
I
ones.
guarantee.
All the swamps and bayous.
And they got like witches and stuff in there for
All
lore.
the Cajun stuff.
Yeah. Hexes. And
That'll be crazy. That's where that whole Princess and the Frog thing is based out of.
That's right. Anyway, we appreciate you listening today. Let us know what you want to hear. Share with your friends. And keep being beautiful people.